Hello everybody, Tech here, bringing you all a special announcement today's video. I'm bringing you all another Tech Talk episode. I'm sorry for this week not being main videos or even posting at least one or two. It's because I've been having a lot of school work to do. Yes, college is like a pain to me, but I'm not gonna go through that. Today's episode, I am going to be talking about my old favorite series, Saints Row. So yeah, this entire episode is going to be about the Saints Row series, why I like it, and why I like 1 and 2 and bits of 3. I do not care for 4 at all. I only just like playing it just for fun, and as you guys can see, this is my gameplay of me actually playing Saints Row 4. I was like doing some missions, messing around, because I found out that my Xbox, like I said in one of my other episodes of Left 4 Dead, I found out you could play your Xbox 360 games on your Xbox One, so I didn't need to get rid of some of them. Yes, I said some of them. There was still some others I'd still gotten rid of. Well, I kept them because I know I'm going to be going back on the Xbox 360 sooner or later, but for right now, let's go. So I'm going to start off with Saints Row 1. In Saints Row 1, I actually gave the game a fair amount of respect. Like, it showed what GTA didn't show as often. Like, in GTA, when they put up like a black character, it's mainly like the black character, like Liberty, like one of the Liberty City games, or I don't remember which one. You become like a soldier. You was like a soldier that was kicked out because you didn't keep your post and all. And not just that, in Saints Row, it's mainly like a game like about mafia work. Not like gangs and all that. Well, in Saints Row, in GTA, it's all about mafia, and then in that second, mafias are still a gang. I'm not saying they're not, but what I'm stating is it's more of like mob bosses, someone you have to try to strike down, one person or one man you gotta try to strike down. You get like a evil ending, I guess, or good ending, I don't know. Sometimes sometimes GTA switches them up. But yeah, like in GTA you mainly go up against mafia bosses and all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of like a problem. Well, it's not a problem, it's kind of like repetitive, but it's fun repetitive because they always switch up the character, making things interesting. Like, my favorite out of all GTA games, my favorite person was Nico. He was the coolest one out of all of them. But yeah, like, but I'm not talking about GTA, I'm talking about Saints Row. But yeah, what I'm getting at is that Saints Row 1 is the one game that actually showed like real life gang type of stuff. It actually made you feel like you was in like an actual gang war. It made you feel like you was actually supposed to be going up against evil. And it made you have like a good feel to it. Like, you actually got like multiple gangs, which is something that happens in real life. Like, if you all don't believe me, search it out. There is actually still some gangs out there that some people that cops still haven't captured or killed yet. But yeah, like you got like gangs, and like they got their colors. Saints are all purple. And they actually did some real life stuff that some gangs actually do, like the fact that like some gangs will like try to get some new recruits by by helping out random people, and some gangs will like actually like try to help out. Well, not help out. Some gangs will actually try to like do some work by killing another gang and all. And then when they get like you become that new member, and you have to go through a trial by like fighting some of the members in the Saints. So you can like just fight you can fight everyone, and that's like, it's like bam, you got that, and you show why you belong in the Saints. And the fun part was you can make your character in any age, so it could be like you can make up your own little story. Like, you're a high school student who wasn't very bright, who didn't have very good grades. You're a grown-up who just lost his job, like all that kind of stuff. You can make things interesting more than GTA. And what I liked about it was the fact that like you was a shy person, so you never talked in the entire game until like the ending. And and midway through the game, I guess. I haven't played Saints Row 1 yet, my friends. I am willing to admit, but the reason why I know all this kind of stuff is because I've seen my brother play the game.
It isn't reading like a normal thing.
I haven't played it, but I've seen one of my brothers played it. Watching him play it made things interesting. But yeah, it was pretty good. And I started watching more gameplays of it, like certain missions that I thought were interesting and cool. And then I paid attention to the gangs, and it's like, I feel like that's how some gangs would be. They will have like something that like introduces them, or something they like. You would actually like see gangs like that. Like the Saints, they're just like a normal gang who actually would kill. And then let's say you got Vice Kings, who are like an organization gang. So it's like they got their own company and everything. You got like there was a blue gang, but I can't remember. They were like the driver gang. They had like race cars and all that type of stuff. And then you had like I think there was like a green gang or a red gang. I can't remember Saints Row 1 that well, my friends. I'm sorry, but yeah, I actually enjoyed it because of that. And if I had a chance to play it on this channel, I actually would, because of how fun it looked and how interesting it was. All right, let's move on to Saints Row 2. All right, Saints Row 2. I played that one. I loved it, but I had a few downsides to it, like the fact that like your character becomes the boss. I was like, in Saints Row 1, there was so many people who had the opportunity to be the next boss if Julius wasn't around. And in Saints Row 2, you start to learn that the Saints has disbanded because of these 3 new gangs that came up in your absence, making them like better, I guess. Like, I was confused. Like, you got rid of like the Vice Kings and everyone, but then you cannot without me, you cannot get rid of like these 3 new gangs that don't even like got much control over you, even though you controlled the entire city. I was confused right there.
Underestimated you.
But then in that second, it's like they explained how, because all the gangs like targeted a certain section of the city. So each gang's targeted, like, you had like on Saints Row 2, you had like a red sector, a yellow sector, and a blue sector. And it was like annoying. It was like frustrating as well, because in each sector they would not lay off. They would not lay off as soon as they see you. And in Saints Row, in Saints Row 1 and 2, they had some real life aspects. If you run over a light post or a mailbox, cops will actually be all over you as soon as you hit them. Which makes sense, because in real life, cops would actually get all over you if you hit any one of those. In GTA, if you hit them right in front of a cop, they will just let you go on about your day. I was actually enjoying that too. Like, you would notice the difference between the two. If you guys want me to play like GTA on this channel, I probably would. I don't know, but we're not talking about that. So yeah, like Saints Row 2 had some actual real life aspects that I loved. It was great. I would absolutely play it on this channel. And not just that, they had some interesting gangs as well. Almost like one of the games was actually like a repeat to like the first one, which I was actually a little like disappointed about. But then at the second, I felt like this game made sense at the same time being in this, because like they made certain scenes so like wow, like so saddening. Like Saints Row 2, I didn't cry, but I was actually legit sad for for 2 of the characters, and one of them was a C. A shield.
How do I beat this shield? You'll need something more powerful than a weapon. Use your superpowers.
Let's see. No, not. It was Ashi. And
see, that works pretty well.
Oh, no.
Though the real thing might be a bit tougher.
I kind of already forgot. It's been a while since I played. I'm sorry. It was the characters I actually felt sad about was Carlos, who just became the new member, busted you out of prison and everything, and Ashi and Ash. No, not Ash. I can't remember. I gotta try. you guys gotta give me a second because I can't remember and it's hard for me.
Will wreak havoc on all the
Like, I think her name was Ashia or something like that. It was Ashia. I'm looking it up right now and yeah, it's Ashia. Okay. Yeah, I actually felt sad for her.
It'd be best to start at.
Because, like, her death was kind of dark.
I want the one with his ugly face.
You get killed in your own house and your husband looks at the man that killed his wife. It was, like, horrible. And then, like, in Saints Row, like, I think 2, I think in Saints Row 2, like, Carlos, his death was brutal.
Planet Zim.
The death for him was basically he gets
So you should
like
be able to hack it from right outside the door.
dragged to death by a freaking monster truck. It was horrible. The worst part about it was you couldn't even like get him to a hospital or anything. He was hooked up to the truck. You couldn't shoot the chains off. Basically, you just watched him suffer.
Kenzie's job is
It was one of the
easy.
most darkest of deaths you could ever see, and not just
Is there a
that. It's like
convention I don't know about.
Oops, you must.
it's actually kind of cool because of the fact like in the original Saints Row you actually get payback in even more dark ways than usual.
Thank you.
For instance, in Saints Row 2, you can actually get payback on the person that killed Carlos by
Whine.
kidnapping her, putting her into the back of a car, and then I think blowing her up or like
Love action.
yeah, blowing her up. It was evil but great. I loved it. It was one of my favorite type of kills in the game. Like the leader of the Saints, he or she was ruthless when you like play in Saints Row 2. You were like, you wouldn't take it if anyone killed your gang and your best friends. It's like, no, I'm not accepting that. If you're gonna kill him in a brutal way, I'll kill you in a brutal way. It was great. That's why I love Saints Row 1 and 2. But now let's get into Saints Row 3 real quick.
Cops changed into Zim.
Alright, so
Security even more. Be
there's
careful.
not much to say to Saints Row 3 of like why I liked about it and why I could I can only say more of like what I disliked more than what I liked.
Shit, now Zim
But
is
what I
flying
liked
from the
about
sky?
the game was
That's
it was
fucking
new,
Those are access
but
points. You should be able
I
to
liked how
decide
it
and stop
takes
more
place in a
soldiers from
different
showing up.
city, but I just dislike the fact that like in Saints Row the Third of the good and bad ending and the games.
Good girls
Like
kick
I
ass.
actually liked the first game, which was the Morning Stars, which was like the red group. I liked them because like they were actually like kind of a real game. It actually felt like
Hold on.
it actually felt like he was going up against the Vice Kings, but it came out so short. I wish it was like a longer story to it. I was actually disappointed of the way we killed the leader, but I actually like fighting, doing the missions of them. But I think like the only thing I didn't like was the big guys,
Come here, you little
because
shit.
they admitted like they were clones that were idiotic and super strong, but it was stupid.
Only the beginning.
Like they could have just said like, oh, these guys are like these guys took like tons of steroids and all, but no, they are clones that are freakishly buff and all. Like I was disappointed right there. That made me angry. I was sad. But in the beginning, I actually loved the game a lot. It made things in I didn't love the game that much actually. I wrote Saints Row 1 more than that. But yeah, like in Saints Row 2, it was like it was a little disappointing.
That went
I
well.
mean, Saints Row the Third, it was a little disappointing. And I guess my other, like, I actually like going up against the Morning Stars in the beginning, but in the second part to get, if you get into like the nerds and all, I actually start feeling a little disappointed. Like they were making it more into like a comedy game. Like yes, Saints Row has funny moments in Saints Row 1 and 2, but at least it was like human like funny moments. And Saints Row the Third, I felt like they overdid it with some stuff. Like, hey, how about we add in, like, I actually liked the zombie mission. That was actually a funny and fun mission to me. But I actually felt disappointed because of that. Because, like, it's like they never explained what they actually did to the zombie area. That's one. And two, it's like, everyone is like acting like everything's a good and happy ending and all. And the game really isn't that challenging. As soon as you get to the military soldiers, it's like you already have like everything leveled up, even like your weapons. So it's like not a big problem. Like, I think I have over like $900,000 into the game, or $1 million, because I've been grinding like crazy for money in that game, because I always go for like financial stuff first before going for anything else. But yeah, that's what I mean. Saints Row 1 and 2, it's like, Saints Row 1 and 2, they actually showed real life aspects, but Saints Row the 3rd, it was like starting to drop. And then, reason why I didn't like the game is because you go up against cyber nerds and luchadors. I was like, that's disappointing and lame. And the leader of them was one of the luchador people. I was like, what the heck? That's so stupid. I was like, I would believe the leader of them could have been like the two girls, or even like that French guy, that guy from Belgium you killed. But nope, it was like that, so I was sad. And then it's like the Saints, they become like the Vice Kings. They want it to be more with money more than anything. It was stupid. Well, don't need to deal with that any longer. Alright, let's move on to Saints Row 4. And if you guys are wondering why am I doing this video, is because of Agents of Mayhem. I will not play that game. I actually will not. All because it has Johnny Gat in it. That doesn't mean I will play it. I actually thought it was going to be like this one. Just you would create your own character, have some fun with it maybe. But I won't actually play it, guys. Let's all admit it. Alright, so what can I say about Saints Row 4? Saints Row 4, I don't like the game's story whatsoever. It's just got that one objective thing. Like, in all the other Saints Rows, I guess this is like the first Saints Row game, actually, where you have to, like,
I remember this one.
This is the first Saints Row game, actually, where you only concentrate on one problem. And that was to kill all the aliens and take over. But I didn't like the fact that the Saints becomes presidential wise, they become Zero Dark 30 and all. It was kind of lame. It made the story boring and stupid, in my opinion. I absolutely didn't like the game. Like, you guys are seeing me play it now is because I'm only like playing like the missions and goofing around in the game right now. Like, I'm actually legit doing that. Like, I only like the game because it's like fun to play, and it makes you think of like yourself as like a superhero. Like, I don't concentrate on the stories at all. And I actually thought the game was going to be more fun until I learned that like you become the president of the United States, and that like
Good girls kick
you don't even
ass.
like work, and you don't even like be like an actual gang any longer. You're just
Reinforcements.
trying to save everyone. In Saints Row 1 and 2, you didn't try to save anyone but yourself and the gang. That was it. And this one, it's more of like you trying to like kill all aliens. And it's like, no, I don't play Saints Row because of that. I play it because of like the story was good. I enjoyed how certain missions were. And I enjoy how, like, the gameplay was. And this one, the gameplay is, like, really easy. You would not die that fast in this game unless you did something stupid to yourself. But I can't say what I like about this game as much. Besides the fact that it's fun that you can pretend to be, like, a superhero and all, and when you get all the powers. But as soon as you get all the powers, it gets kind of boring because it makes you feel like Superman. And I don't like Superman because he's boring, because he has like almost every superpower in the world. Almost. But that's what makes him boring to me. But it's like that with this game also. Like, you can have almost any power in this world and it will not be fun. You can't even fly in this game. You can glide, but It's still lame. But if I had to say anything, any of the missions I liked into the game,
If you don't start telling me
I guess
how
my
you can help me
favorite
save my
mission
friends,
or
I'm
mission I liked was going up against Genki Cat. If you guys don't know who Genki Cat is, or Professor Genki, is what people call him. I don't remember, but it's been a while since I played Saints Row. He's in Saints Row the Third also. He is one of the most dangerous characters to meet up with on Saints Row the Third because you cannot kill the guy
What do you need
at
me for?
all. That's legit truth right there. I played Saints Row the Third, people, and there's this thing in the game where you can actually go up against. There's this little thing in the game where as soon as you get past one of the Genki Cat missions or his murder brawl thing, basically he would appear and go on a murder spree with random weapons he's been given. Like, one of his moments was he ran up to me with a baseball bat and he ran up to me with a rocket launcher. It was frustrating, but in this one you can actually kill the guy and you can actually have fun fighting the guy. But yeah, like, he was absolutely terrifying. But if I had to say which one was my #1 favorite Saints Row, guys, I'm gonna have to just say it now. That was like my only favorite mission in Saints Row 4. But if I had to say what's my favorite Saints Row right now, my favorite one has to go to Saints Row 2. And blasphemy if I didn't put Saints Row 1 as #1 as my favorite. Well, because Saints Row 2, that was the first Saints Row the Third was the first one I've ever played, but Saints Row 2, it was actually one of the better Saints Rows to me because it made like some of the gangs kind of more interesting than usual. Like, you had like, it actually showed more real life stuff than usual. Like, you got gangs that will actually want to like, kill each other, and not made corporational gangs, and then you had gangs hiding out in certain areas, drug dealers and all that kind of stuff. You even had to take their stuff away and all. That's why I love Saints Row. It was great with the realism until this game came out, but now it's I'm just kidding. I'm gonna have to call this video up right here, my friends. I hope you guys enjoyed this tech talk. If you guys want more tech talks like these, I'll do so for you guys. But before I go, I want to say there'll be a new game coming out next month, and I hope you all get ready for it, because see you later, my friends. Tech out.